is up, Sexy Beast, Crazy Rabbit here, and we're going to be comparing the FFAR and the FAMAS, and then we're going to be looking at them both on round 50 and seeing which weapon is the better weapon to have. So let's go ahead and get this shit started. So we're going to be looking at the fire rate, reload speed, hip fire, and how much ammo these things actually hold, and we're going to be looking at them 3 separate times. So 1 with the unpack punch, bare bones, no perks besides jug. 2, pack punch, still no perks, and 3, fully pack punch with these perks, jug, speed cola, and double tap, because I like to use the weapons to the best of their abilities, and no one really plays without perks. And there's really no difference between these perks when it comes to like the weapons, so to say. When you're looking at World at War Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, and Black Ops 3, what they really do to the guns is relatively the same. So let's go ahead and first look at the fire rate for these unupgraded versions, and if I start them at the same time, because they both hold a 30 round magazine, and the FAMAS does have the faster fire rate, which really kind of sucks. I feel like when they keep bringing weapons from old games, like whether it be World at War or Black Ops 1, I feel like they keep nerfing the fire rate, and I'm not a huge fan of that. I feel like they should be able to keep the same fire rate. They did increase the damage and some other things, which I guess is okay and kind of makes up for it, but man, come on. I'm a huge sucker for medieval castles and fire rates, but we can't keep my same fire rate? What up with that? So I really wish they would actually keep the same fire rate, because I like shooting faster. In my mind, how it works is a faster fire rate means you get to kill that zombie faster. Sometimes, it really kind of depends on which weapon you have. Some weapons have really fast fire rates, but they don't really do that much damage, and some weapons don't really have a fast fire rate, but do a lot of damage. So there are the exceptions, there are the outliers, but majority of the time, fast fire rate means faster killing. And they kind of nerfed the FFAR's fire rate just a little bit. Now I know it's not like the same exact thing as the FAMAS, they named it the FFAR, they changed a couple different stats. I just wish, since it's kind of modeled after the FAMAS, that it kind of kept the same exact stats, except for the damage. I'm glad they actually boosted that up, which we will actually get to later in the video. So now we're going to take a look at the reload speed, and this one's actually pretty interesting. So the reload speed, it looks like the FAMAS is actually done first, but I went frame by frame, and the FFAR gets back to firing quicker. So the animations for the reloading, the FAMAS is actually a lot quicker, but getting actually back to shooting, the FFAR does have an advantage. So I went frame by frame and actually looked for the exact moments when I started shooting again, because I never let go of that shoot button. I held it down the entire time when I was reloading just to see which one could actually get back to shooting faster. Now it's really close, it's only by like a couple frames, so when you're playing zombies you're probably not going to notice it, but I thought this was actually just pretty interesting because it looks like the FAMAS is done faster, but in actuality it's the FFAR. Now when it comes to Hipfire, I'm definitely going to have to give this one to the FAMAS just because it kind of stays all in the same location. It kind of just creates like this little ball, but with the FFAR, it kind of just goes straight up and all over the place. So if I had an option to Hipfire with both these weapons, I would definitely choose the FAMAS just because it all sort of stays in the same area, and the FFAR kind of just goes sporadic and goes everywhere. Now when it comes to ammo, we're just going to go ahead and look at the unupgraded versions and the upgraded versions right now. So when it comes to ammo, the FFAR kicks the FAMAS's ass. That's one of the things I really never liked about the FAMAS, was it just carried so little ammo, and with a fast fire rate, you're going through ammo relatively quick, and the FAMAS isn't that powerful, so you're just going to be wasting so much ammo. The FFAR in reserve carries double what the FAMAS holds, and even when pack-a-punched, it literally carries double in everything, double the magazine size and double in reserve, so the FAMAS can't even really compete. The FFAR just holds so much more ammo, that just easily outclasses the FAMAS. Alright, so now that we have both weapons pack-a-punch, let's take a look at their fire rates. And since the FFAR has a 90 round magazine and the FAMAS only has a 45, I started both of these the second they actually had 45 bullets. So I started as soon as the FAMAS started shooting, and I started as soon as the FFAR actually got to 45 in its magazine, and you can see that the FAMAS is still faster, which in my opinion is always better on early to mid rounds, not really high rounds so to say. If I had to choose which weapon I kind of wanted to build points with, I would probably say the FFAR, but with a faster fire rate on early to mid rounds, you're just going to be mowing through the zombies, and that's always really good. If you really want to kill that train of 24 or whatever, you're definitely going to want the faster fire rate, so the FAMAS would be your weapon of choice. And when it comes to reload speed with the pack-a-punch versions, the results are going to be exactly the same. The FFAR still does have the faster reload speed, and if we take a look at the Hipfire, the results are still going to be the exact same. Nothing really changes when you do the unupgraded version to the upgraded version. The results relatively stay the same. They might be closer or farther apart in certain aspects, but when you look at the big picture, the results are all relatively the same. They relatively just carry over. Everything that the FAMAS does better with the unupgraded version, it still does better with the upgraded version, and same thing with the FFAR. Now, if we look at these weapons with perks, everything again stays the exact same because the perks still do the exact same thing as they would. Doesn't really matter if you have double tap 1.0 or 2.0, they literally do the exact same thing. Besides double tap 2.0 allowing you to shoot an extra bullet, which of course increases your damage, which we will get to when we compare them on round 50. But the only thing that I noticed that really changed was the Hipfire, and this is where I say that they are tied. So the reload speed stayed the exact same, FFAR still wins. So when we look at the Hipfire, this is when I say that they're tied because both Hipfires, when you have a double tap on, are just so sporadic, and that might just be because of double tap 2.0 with the FFAR because it's shooting that extra bullet out, which can always kind of throw the results a little bit. So the FFAR might be a little bit better with Hipfire than the FAMAS, but both these things, Hipfire, are just all over the place. I just had to say that they were tied. So now when you look at everything from the fire rate, the reload speed, the Hipfire, how much ammo the thing holds, you might be like, okay, the FFAR wins in reload speed and ammo, and the FAMAS wins in fire rate and hipfire. So these weapons should be even on round 50, which is definitely not the case. The FFAR, even without double tap, is such a better weapon. It just does so much more damage, and with double tap 2.0, it easily outclasses the FAMAS, especially on round 50. You're actually going to be able to do things with the FFAR, unlike you would with the FAMAS. The FAMAS on round 50 is an absolute terrible weapon. Yes, it is a very fast weapon, both in fire rate, reload speed, and everything else, but that doesn't make up for the lack of damage it does, and the FFAR just easily outclasses this weapon on round 50. So if I had to choose one, I'm definitely going to go with the FFAR. It does more damage, it's actually going to be able to kill some things on round 50, and it carries double the ammo that the FAMAS has. So even hypothetically, if they both did the exact same thing, like the FAMAS could get one kill with all the ammo it actually had, the FFAR will be able to get 2 just because it carries so much more ammo. So the FFAR on high rounds is definitely the better choice. But on low rounds, I would definitely stick with the FAMAS if you want more of a kill zombies kind of weapon, because that fire rate is incredibly fast. But if you want a point horror weapon, I would definitely go with the FFAR. So I'm very curious to know, which weapon do you guys personally like more? Not which weapon do you guys think is better, just which weapon do you guys happen to enjoy more? So thank you guys so much for watching, and if you guys could, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Peace.